Hey, and good morning. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. Hey, it's meteorological summer. You know, as meteorologists, we start the summer party early. We don't wait for some solstice or anything like that, astronomically speaking. And why do we do that? We do that because it's a lot easier to cover stats, climatology of how a summer was June 1st, July 1st, August 1st. So June, July, August, rather than, the solstice floats by a day either side. So we'd have to go back, if we wanted to look at summer stats, if we use June 21st to September 21st, thereabouts. Remember, sometimes it's on the 22nd, sometimes it's on the 20th, I think. It would float a lot. It would be a lot harder. So, hey, and before we get started, let's get it started off with some good mornings. Hey, good morning, Alicia Bird Johnson. Thank you very much. I thought, hey, first day of summer, got to pull out the pineapple shirt. Katie Teddy, good morning, Sheboygan County. Kind of a hidden gem, wouldn't you say? Good morning, Michelle Lalonde. And hey, Mullet Lake, we got folks in the north checking in. We got Darlene Smith checking in from South Bend. We got Shelly Dumler from Prescott. Good morning. And Ronald Gamachia. Good morning. All right, so here we go. This is what we're going to be talking about today. We got a few hour clump of thunder showers coming through, let's call it this evening in the west to overnight in the east. A warm week is on the way, not hot, but nice and very summery. And it does look like some heat may be on the way as we look in the extended. So let's get into it here. And you can see the thunderstorms off in Iowa, western Wisconsin. So we have a little while before those get here. I'll show that to you on the radar forecast here in just a moment. Here's the satellite picture. And again, you can see that the clouds are poised to move into the western part of lower Michigan through the morning hours and, into the UP right now. Here's our radar forecast. And let me shift it back to where you can see it here. And by the way, I want to remind you that the MLive Morning Weather Update is brought to you by Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center. That's in Saginaw, just off I-75, just before the Z Bridge. If you're heading north, you get off at M81 exit, and it's a great week to keep planting. And Abley still has most all the plants you need. They admitted last week high demand for gardening this year, and some things are sold out, so you better get there when you can. All right, so here is the radar forecast. And we'll go into this afternoon. We're at noon, 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4. So, maybe some showers starting to show up in the west side of the state, Muskegon, maybe the Grand Rapids area, Benton Harbor, St. Joe, Saugatuck by late afternoon. Now we're into 6 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock. That's a better chance of a clump of thunderstorms rolling across lower Michigan from, let's say, 6 to midnight tonight, maybe even lasting after that in the eastern part of the state. So folks in Detroit and in Ann Arbor and in Flint, Saginaw on the thumb, you probably wait until almost dark or after dark before you get into the showers and thunderstorms. Steve Riley, nobody else is mentioning not getting videos, so you must have something turned off or maybe a bad connection. Okay, so we go through the night tonight. The thunder showers come to an end, and tomorrow a great summery day is on the way. Storm Prediction Center says that there is what they call a marginal chance of severe weather across the southern 2/3 of lower Michigan. And they actually put about a 2% chance of a tornado in the western part of the state from Mount Pleasant to Lansing, back toward Grand Rapids, up to Ludington and Manistee, just because this situation, there's some rotation in the atmosphere. If a thunderstorm developed, probably not a big concern. You can tell I'm not super concerned about it, but certainly something that to keep an eye on. All right, high temperatures for today. We're still, I guess I would call it a little bit on the cool side for what it could be at this time of the year. That'll change. So here's your highs today. We'll call it low to mid 70s. Beautiful day. Tomorrow we'll call it summery. About 80 to 82 or so, 83. Southern parts of the state, Lansing, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, 83, 84 degrees. Look at the 90s just off to the west. So there's plenty of heat there. There is summer. And I think you're going to be really surprised if you think that it's going to be a cool summer based on a few weeks of cool weather that we had in May. I think you are going to be very surprised at that. There's really no correlation, okay? So here's Wednesday. We get another clump of thunderstorms coming through Wednesday. I'll show that to you in a second. About 80 degrees. Here's Thursday, about 80 degrees. Here's Friday in the low 80s. And the weekend right now showing a touch of a cool off back into the mid to upper 70s, but it's quite a ways out. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. All right, a few things on this map that I want to talk to you about. Also, you know, it's the start of meteorological summer, June 1st, but it's also the start of, officially the start of the Atlantic hurricane season. Shirley has a question. Shirley Felice, what's your guess for weather end of July, early August? I'll be visiting Michigan. Shirley, I think we're going to have a warmer than normal summer. So at that time of the year, we're usually well into the 80s with occasionally temperatures in the low to mid 90s. Hey, Cheryl Houston, good morning and thank you. I look drunk? No, I'm not actually. So here we go. Sarah Manley thinks I look drunk. Here's that clump of thunderstorms moving through tonight, early tomorrow morning. Rest of tomorrow is dry. Tomorrow's a good day. Now, this computer model has been showing this second batch on Wednesday all along. So toward Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, a clump of thunderstorms could develop, and then it shifts to the south during the day. And that's why, as these storms shift south, that's what keeps the heat, the 90-degree temperatures at bay. You know, knocks us back to upper 70s to 80 degrees. But you'll notice that the cold pocket that we watched is well up in Canada, but it's still there for an occasional cold front to come through from the north, wind turn northeast, drop us back in the 70s. So it might be a little something for everybody. You might get a taste, I would say in the next 10 days, at some point toward the end, you might get a taste of temperatures in the 90s, and then we could get a cold front come through, drop it back in the upper 70s. And that is why Michigan has one of the best summers in the country, right? But after we get the Tuesday night thunderstorms, looks fairly dry. It looks like a fairly quiet weather pattern. And we go into the weekend. That's one of those cold fronts that might drop from the north and cool us down a touch. We had it this week, and we had frosty temperatures. John says, you can't say you drank all day if you don't start in the morning. Well, I'm working, so I'll have to wait until later on. In fact, I usually wait until the weekend to have just a couple. Here's one thing. A possible tropical system, still pretty far out, 7 days out in the Gulf of Mexico. But look, as we get to next week, look at the warmth building in. And if I go out to the end of this run, which we don't necessarily always believe, that is a Bermuda high just off the east coast, southeast coast. And we have temperatures, my friends, in that kind of pattern in the 90s. Let's look at that same model on its forecasted highs. We'll go out toward the end of it. Let's take a look at next Monday. That's after the cold front comes through. And then Tuesday, the heat's starting to build to our west. And then we get to Wednesday, and it shows us, now again, 9 days out flirting with 90 degrees. But the point being is the pattern says that we're going to continue to have gradual warm-ups. And, at June 10th, if we get to 90 degrees and have several 90-degree days, we're running a little bit ahead of schedule. All right, let's see some temperatures. Hey, John Boschke, thank you for enjoying the forecast and the information. All right. Let's see. Hey, good morning, Cindy Blaine from Michigan. Milan, Michigan. I do believe it is. I always mess that one up, and I shouldn't, because one of our friends lives there, and I've been there a few times. So there you have it. We're going to have a good day today, a clump of thunderstorms tonight. I don't think we'll have to deal with a lot of severe weather. We'll have to keep an eye on an isolated severe thunderstorm. If you feel like a storm is getting potent, get inside. That's the best thing to do. And then tomorrow is a great day. Wednesday morning could start a little on the stormy side, southern part of the state, and then Thursday and Friday are dry. So really we have a very nice, tolerable, summery week for the first day of meteorological summer. You're welcome, Sharon Douglas and Lynn Hoffman. Good morning from Good morning, Hart, Michigan, and Bruce Noble also. Hey, good morning, and thank you very much. There it is, the MLive morning weather update, brought to you by Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center in Saginaw. If you've never been there, it's one of those greenhouses that I think you'll find is a destination place where you can wander around and enjoy yourself. Take care, stay safe. We'll keep you updated on the weather here at MLive. Enjoy that first day of meteorological summer.